Hello. My name is Basma Abdelhamid and I am from Egypt. And in this short video, I'm going to take you a step by step to tackle a very important topic that we all need nowadays as educators. And this topic is personal branding. How can you build a brand for you as a teacher, whether you're working offline or online, or you're going to be interested to work in certain organizations? So let's take together step by step how this is going to go. So I know that you're going to be watching this as a video. We're not gonna have the chance to communicate. So first, let me tell you about myself. I have been working as an English teacher for over 13 years, and I worked in so many institutions in Egypt. So I worked in universities like School of Continuing Education in the American University, in projects related to the banks, to the embassies, the police academy, and I also did teacher training in different schools and for so many teachers. And I also got a YouTube channel that got more than 800 videos for English teachers and teachers who are interested in working online. So I want you to take a moment while you are watching this video and tell me, so what is personal branding in your opinion, and how can we brand for ourselves? We are educators, and the whole idea of marketing and branding is not really something that we are, familiar with much, because we're usually having professional development workshops related to, teaching, classroom management, methodology, and the hot topics in teaching mainly, but not in marketing and branding. So what do you think you're going to learn, or what we're going to tackle together, or the steps we're going to have in personal branding? Just take a moment there and think, and then let's move to the next point. So the outline for this video is we're going to talk about what is personal branding and why is it important. And then we're going to take some steps to build our personal brand. And I really hope you enjoy this, because this is one of my favorite topics and it helped me a lot. And it actually saved me after the times of Corona when I had to stop working offline for some time. So it just helped my career keep going. So what is a brand? So let's take step backward, and then we think about what happens when we are trying to get the job of our dream. And so we find that first, in the beginning, we need to find our passion, what we're really good at, and then we start to learn it. And in this case, we're doing we're already teachers. If you're here, so you're a teacher, and then we start to do personal branding, and then comes with the idea later on resume branding, and then your job search and your interview, and then how you behave inside an organization. So a brand mainly is what people say about you behind your back. This is something that we really have in our day-to-day life, right? So we're trying to take it here into the career. So we're trying to build a brand where we are controlling, or we are somehow managing what people know about us. So instead of just I want you to think with me here, how many of you your family knows exactly what you're doing? And I don't mean just your mom and dad, brother and sister, but I just mean your big family, anyone in your family. If they are thinking about, for example, of an English teacher, you come to their mind. If they want to ask about something related to education, you're the first one who comes to their mind. So this is personal branding. So the people around you know who you are and what you're doing. And I don't mean in a philosophical sense here. I just mean it at least they know what is your job. So in personal branding, we're trying to promise people of a unique value. I'm going to give them a certain experience in learning in the field that I'm working in a unique way. I'm promising them something good. And to make a promise, you gotta keep it. So that's the idea of personal branding, that we are making promises to keep them. So why is it important? Like, you know, I am a teacher and I know exactly how some of you might be thinking right now. Like, I'm shy, I'm an introvert, and I'm a teacher. I don't want to be busy with marketing and all of this. But when you think about it, the whole person branding was there from the beginning of time. So when you graduate from college, there are zillions of students in your college, in your major, who graduated, and they are also trying to compete for the same job. And when they go to the interview, the best man wins. So there is a competition out there. And some people actually they struggle with this no matter how many certificates they got. So even if they have like masters or PhD, they might be suffering in getting the kind of jobs that they wish for, in getting the kind of salary they want, in even getting the kind of recognition that they wish that they would be having with the kind of knowledge that they have. So usually when companies fill jobs, we got like they started by job posting, the resume search, networking, or internal move. So in from these ones, there is one that is really major. So if you think about it, how do they really fill the jobs? So you might find that astonishingly that networking is like the highest in percentage in getting a job to be filled. So this is the first thing, that someone who knows someone and they get them for the interview. And this is quite it's a good thing, not a bad thing when you think about it. If you want to go and buy a certain product, you know, like if you want to get a skincare product, if you want to get a certain, you know, you want to buy pizza and you are new in town and you just ask your neighbors, so what is the best restaurant here? What is the best product that you would advise me to get? So all of this is a sign of personal branding and networking. You're just trying to get the word of mouth proof that something is really good and someone I know tried this and they liked it. So I'm gonna buy it. And it's the same idea in getting a job. If someone you're networking with and they know that there is a job in their institution and they want a teacher, and so they remember you and then they call you, you just go through the interview, the demo, the everything that the other candidates who are not coming with networks come with. However, you get like a higher percentage in getting accepted. And of course, after that, you know, it comes with job posting, the resume search like on LinkedIn, and then people who are doing internal move. So let's pass that picture quickly, and then I ask you how many pencils were there. And you know, if you just saw it for 1 second or less than a second, you're just gonna say there was only one pencil, because you remember that it had a different color. It was yellow, but the others are like, I don't know, maybe black, maybe dark blue. You just remember they were all dark, but that one was the bright one, the one that stood out above the crowd. And this is the idea of personal branding. You're trying to do something that make you distinguished from what's around you. Now, when we go to the second picture here, you just tell yourself, so am I supposed to be crazy? Maybe I am not crazy. Maybe I'm just someone normal. Maybe I cannot do what the influencers on social media doing. Maybe I cannot be sharing too much about myself. I don't want to be crazy. I just want to be, you know, the nice, quiet teacher inside the school. And guess what? It's all right. It's all about showing who you really are. We are not faking anything. So, I mean, for me, I'm quite an introvert in real life. You know, like if someone asked me a question in the street, I would just like blush and I go running because I get really scared and very shy. You know, like even if the supermarket salespeople, they know me and they know my family, and then when they start to have a discussion with me, I get really, really shy and I cannot keep going. So this is my personality in real life. And inside the class, I might be a little bit more active and fun, or trying to get to build rapport with the students. So I am not gonna fake on social media and say that I am the extrovert who can do everything, whether in or outside the classroom. I will simply share who I really am. I mean, if I'm good at something, I share it. If I'm not good in something, I just state it clearly. So I don't have to be crazier than I am, or I don't have to do something that is against my own, like my own belief or my own interests or my own ethics. I just be whoever I am really. So personal branding eventually is about credibility, is about trust, is about making someone feel that they really know you in reality, despite that they only saw your LinkedIn profile or your Facebook page. So they feel that you are trustworthy. So you're someone I can work with. You are someone I can learn from. And this is really amazing because, I get a lot of situations when I'm teaching a course for people of whom I met for the first time, and then I find them talking to me as if they have known me for years. And that's because they are connected to me on social media. So because of my posts, because of my videos, so they start to feel that we already know her. And that's the whole point of personal branding. You got an idea that you just want to spread to the world. So now let's take our idea. Now, like, I hope by now that you might be a little bit more curious about personal branding and you feel that you are ready to take your first step. Are you thinking that it's gonna be difficult and you're gonna be, worried maybe I will not be able to do it, or it's gonna be like you're gonna sell your soul to the devil because you're gonna get famous on social media? Well, relax here, my friend. All we're gonna do are very simple steps that you could actually be doing already, or you're doing it in real life, but we're just gonna take it online. The first step we got is just use your professional name. Duh, it's really simple. It's that simple because some people just use their nicknames on social media. And how could that build trust and credibility? If you walk in like you get someone coming to an interview in your institution, and then you ask them about their name, and then they tell you their nickname. Or that's gotta be really weird because you're supposed to be like, okay, and how about the name that you got on your passport? So this way we can communicate better. You're gonna feel it's really strange. And this is the idea of online personal branding. I really need to know who who is the person, and the first thing that I want to know about that person is their real name. So for example, for me, my name is Basma, and by the way, Basma in Arabic means a smile. So I do not write Busi, Busbus, or all the possible nicknames that I have, but I just write down my own name. The second thing is that some people just have their profile picture as a flower, or as, the car of their dreams, or, like a peaceful garden picture. All of these are just gonna be, again, I don't know who is that person. And I'm coming from a culture is that there are even some ladies who cover their faces. And when they make personal branding, they just show the picture of who they are with the face cover. They don't use cartoon. They don't use, any flowers pictures. They use a picture of them as how we're going to see them in the street. So you just put on your picture however people really see you in the street. So this is something that would also take you a step forward in your personal brand. And then we got on most of the social media the cover photo, whether on Facebook or LinkedIn. So this is, for example, I'm going to use some examples here from my own social media accounts. And I know some of the pictures might be having Arabic words on them because, I'm connecting to like most of my audience are Egyptians and from the Arab world. So Arabic is kind of the main language we're using. So let me tell you, here on Facebook, I decided to be that my Facebook account would be a little bit more friendly than my LinkedIn. So that's why it's got this word here in Arabic that says that this girl is a troublemaker, or she does a lot of troubles. And actually, it's my husband's idea. He just wanted something to, like in his own words, that would represent my personality. So that's why he made this cover photo for me, just to show how I'm a bit of a devilish person and making some trouble. So that's my Facebook. However, my LinkedIn is a little bit different because my cover photo here is that from me inside a classroom. So I wanted to think, if you are coming to this account right now for someone that you don't know, and let's assume that you do not, okay, so this is written in English. What if it was written in Arabic and you do not know Arabic, for example, and then you just saw my picture and then you saw the cover photo. So the first thing that you're going to think about, it seems that she's a teacher. And that's the first thing that I want people to think about. And, you know, you might be thinking, oh, she's a teacher playing with puppets. Students are smiling. They must be happy. And that's the kind of idea that I want to deliver. I just don't want anything more than this. This is the first thing that I try to hook people into my account to think like, what is she doing inside the class? Why is she using puppets? And maybe the next step they might be thinking about, which is, so what exactly is she teaching? And this is when, you know, you can start to check the rest of the profile and you start to see what exactly am I doing. Something else that you could use in your own social media accounts, if you're using Facebook or LinkedIn or any other website, you might find a part of the featured photos. And they are really nice because you can mix between different things, like something that is fun, personal, a little bit personal, and something that suits your personality, or something from your career, just to give people like a holistic view of who you are. For me here, I just like chose a picture of my wedding and my engagement, when I was in a conference, when I was just like, I don't know, my husband and I, we were fighting in sumo suits, and from my kickboxing classes, when I was taking the class and everyone was beating me. I'm not gonna pretend that I was good. I was really, really bad. And also for the ebooks that I wrote, and they were like in Arabic and for teachers. So the feature photos could just give you like a sum up of the main accomplishments or the main events in that person's life. Another thing that you might be very familiar with is using a professional email address. So some people just like have red flower, pussycat, or a nickname. What we need to do is to have our name in the professional way. And that's for the email address, and also to try to avoid the kind of numbers that we do not try to. I know, like, what's the problem of being too old or too young, but we're still living in a world that could be a little bit, you know, we might face some people who could be discriminating. So we might be applying for a certain organization and they favor those who are younger, those who are older. So when I'm trying to build my personal brand, there are some pieces of information that I choose willingly to hide until I get the trust of the client I'm trying to get. Because maybe just for them to know certain piece of information about me in the beginning could be like a break, to break the deal between us, like a deal breaker. So what I try to do is like, you don't have to know my age. Some people think I'm young, or some people think I'm younger than I really am. Some people think I'm older when they listen to some of the courses that I have. And all of this just helps me get the trust that I want. And actually, I got a lot of students who are like, some of them are 50 something and 60 something, and they are teachers, and it's really amazing. And, you know, some of them actually think I'm getting a little bit older than I really am. And for the younger teachers, they think that I'm almost around their age. And this actually helps me a little bit to build a rapport with them. And so that eventually, when they know how old I really am, it would be like, okay, we trust her. It doesn't really matter. So a professional email address could be just our name. And here, for me, I just chose to write like Abla before my name. And Abla in Arabic, it's like when you say mess for the teacher, but it's used for that mainly for the teachers who are working in very small places, underprivileged places. So that's why I chose that this would be my title, despite that I was teaching in universities, because this for me is like, I really appreciate the kind of teachers who are, you know, teaching in places that they have absolutely no resources, and still they are working miracles with the students. Something else that we could be using is our email signature. So if you're communicating by mails in your culture, so you can try to get like a logo for your own business, for write your name, your WhatsApp number. Just show people how they can contact you and how they can contact you. This is really a very important step. A lot of people neglect, because usually, like, I really like that person, I saw her account and I just want to contact her, or I want to contact him, and I don't know how. So maybe on LinkedIn there is not an option that we're not connected, so I cannot send you a message. So just make it easy for people to find a way to contact you through WhatsApp, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube channel, or whatever social media accounts that you have. So this way it would be easy, and put it everywhere. If you are on LinkedIn, just write your contacts there. If you are on YouTube, write all of your contacts there. So this way all of your social media would be like connecting to one another. Another thing is the short bio. And the short bio, it's really misunderstood. For some people, they just write something, like dreamy or their favorite quote. And well, it's a bio, it's a short bio. So we just need to get something about you that quickly. So here I just wrote that Abla Basma, like this is me, is a full-time troublemaker. I'm not gonna lie, I do make a lot of troubles. And teacher, trainer, education consultant, and TEFL founder. And this is like my startup that I help my teachers or the teacher through it. So here it's just like a simple bio. You just like, you saw my picture, name, okay, and then you just want to get a quick idea about what I do in life, and then you get like, oh, okay, she's a teacher. She's teaching teachers. She's a teacher trainer. So you just get the idea quickly. Another thing that you can use is like a sentence. Like, for example, I'm going to show you some examples here, and you can like translate it into or make something in your own language. Or in the way that suits your culture. So here, this is a business consultant with 12 years of experience on a mission to help aspiring entrepreneurs in the idea stage phase. So here, he just showed like what's his job, and he branded for the many years of experience that he or she got. Or I wake up every day looking for passionate career builders to help them make the new big success story. So this is someone who's working in career advising. So you just like get an idea of what they do. The IELTS test that everybody gets nightmares about? I'll help you nail it. So now this is an IELTS trainer. You just get it, you get interested, so you can get your own creative way of making your own headline. Now let's move to the biography or the summary. This is when you can make a picture summarizing the logos of your the institutions you worked with, or maybe a short paragraph describing the kind of numbers that you did. And then you move on to the portfolio or the testimonials. So I'm gonna show you like some examples here, like maybe if you have courses online on YouTube or something, you can just show them in your portfolio. And like if you go to my own LinkedIn account and Facebook account, you will find my portfolio done in really cheerful girly pictures there, but it's made in Arabic. So because again, I am not targeting everybody in the world. I'm just targeting the people who are possible clients, who are possible students, or the people I could be actually helping. So yes, I do have videos in English because like some topics could be delivered in English, and some topics I'm just like interested that a certain group of people around me because it suits their culture, or this is the problem that they be having, and we are discussing it together, or localizing the kind of information or knowledge out there. Like when you read a book in teaching and it sounds great in theory, but when you apply it inside the classroom, everything just goes wrong. So because of this is like globally it's a good reference. However, when you put it into practice in your real class with the real students, there are some tweaks that should be happening. So this is the same idea. We just like try to deliver our knowledge in a localized matter, or in a manner that would help our students in their own context. So testimonials could be like a certificate that you got. And, like when I teach a teacher about personal branding, and then I tell them, post about your certificates or the courses that you have taken. So one of the things that they actually do is that they post the certificate, and they write absolutely nothing about it. And so people, they're just like, okay, like, and then that's it. But the whole idea is about the story. People like stories, you know, like if you read 1001 Nights, and how the main character, she was telling stories to the king so that he wouldn't just like cut her head. So it's the same idea. It's like she captured his attention for more than 1000 nights, until he fell in love with her because of the stories. So whatever you're sharing on social media, just make sure that you tell it as a story. So that's why I always write something related to this course. I might be like joking about something, telling a story, something inspiring, a challenge that I have gone through, maybe a testimonial from one of my students who just like sent me something that they really like they printed out my book, and then they studied it and they loved it, so I just write it down. So this would give a lot of credibility. So these are just samples from my own profile, like stuff that I use. Like here I was actually joking that these 3 characters could replace me in class because my students love them even more than me. I was the one who is playing with it, but sometimes it's just like, you're just being naughty and having fun. So the portfolio or the testimonials could be like showing off the number of teaching hours, the number of the students that you have, the curricular variations that you teach, the levels that you teach. Because I'm an English teacher, so some people come and ask me if I teach English for kids, and then I tell them no, I teach English for adults. And I remember this one really nice situation when someone sent me on Facebook and saying that, well, I have 2 girls, 7 and 9. So do you teach that age? And I told her, no, I just teach from 16 and above. And then she said, well, I will wait until they grow up and then I will come back to you again. So it was really nice. And I actually took a screenshot of that post and of that message, of course removing her name and picture, and I just shared it, and it really got really nice reactions. And it just showed people like how some people could actually find me credible or trusting that they would be interested to work with me later on in life. And of course it's a blessing for me for something like this to happen. So you can check also a sample for my CV, bio, portfolio on my LinkedIn and Facebook. Something else that we could do is to unify our URL account, which is like sometimes it's just like when you look at it, you will find that they are like strange numbers, as if they are just doing magic or something. You don't know what these numbers are. So you can just write down, how can I change my URL on a certain website, and then you can change it and write your own name. It's really nice, and when you send it to someone, it just looks very professional. And also when you write down that URL on Google, and you just like get everything related to that person in on the different websites. So let's say that Superman wanted to make a URL, so it could be like superman.kryptons or Kryptonawi or whatever he can use. So these are something else that we can do is to refill the details on our social media accounts. Some people just like, until that moment, that's it. I just did my bio, I just did my picture, my cover photo. Just let us relax a little bit, Basma, because this is getting a little bit crazy, more than we can actually do in one day. And exactly, that's right. You don't have to do this in one day. It's all about consistency. So you can just do this one day at a time, one day, a small baby step forward. Like today, I'm gonna change my name from a nickname to my professional name. And maybe tomorrow, I'm just gonna put a good picture of me. And of course, this is something that you can change later on. And also you can have like a cover photo in the day after that. And it's a step by step, you're building an online persona, an online presence. So don't feel like, oh my God, all of these steps, am I gonna do this only today? No, it's not gonna be like that. It's just gonna take years, as long as you're alive, you're just gonna modify something, you're gonna add something, post about something. So just take a deep breath, drink some water, and, just try to take notes now, and then start the application over the many years that are ahead of you, inshallah. So we have here all the possible details so that we could like work and education, places I've lived in, or the contact or basic information about you, family and relationships, you know, any details, life events. So we can just add them. And of course, you can modify them every now and then. Maybe you no longer use that email, so you just remove it and so on. Something else that you might be like in certain cultures, it's a little bit difficult to share certain information because people get afraid of envy, or they just feel like, no, I don't want to share that I'm getting this kind of success while my friends didn't get that kind of success. So it's really considerate and everything. So we can find a way in the middle, you know, like I'm not gonna tell you, no, you gotta share this. You're not comfortable about it. However, just trying to find a way in the middle, like to share something that you don't feel that it's too personal about my life. I don't want everyone on social media talking about it. And at the same time, you don't have to share it in a way that would hurt others' feelings. So what you can do is just try to share the things that you find they are gonna be useful for you in your career, and at the same time, without hurting yourself or others. One of the things that could actually give you a lot of ideas is doing a market research. So you can just like get to know what others are doing, attend events, workshops, read a new book, and all of this could actually be a great idea to help you talk about this, talk about your career in front of others. And also, a step by step, you could learn to define your own target segment. Nobody is selling everything to everybody. So we are just selling something or a few things to certain group of people. And this is the whole idea, you know, like when I post on my YouTube channel a video, I just know the kind of target audience that actually watch these videos, and their group, their age group, their whether they are girls or boys, whether they live in Egypt or in another country. So step by step, I know who the real target really is and where they are, and all the information that I could use to help me work with them. But of course, you're gonna get to know others, you know, like in other cultures and nationalities and countries, and this is really fun. But again, I'm talking about who you're going to sell your courses to eventually are gonna be most probably like 99.9% from the people in your own culture or your own country, and this is really amazing. If you got an exception, way to go. Something else that we could do is a variation of content. So some people make their content as only posts, written posts. Some people make them as only videos. Some people make them as only short videos. So you try to vary the content that you are doing. So you're talking about a certain piece of information. So you can make this piece of information in a video, in a post, in a short way, in a long article. You can experiment and play with that piece of information and see how the people around you react to that piece of information. But I don't mean like you do it the same exact piece of information every day on your account. I just mean like try to do it like once per week to try, did people react with the article better than the short post, or with the video more than the article, and so on, so that you can get to know the generation, for example, that you're targeting likes videos more or to read more. And of course, like for me, these are like just samples from my account, and these are like comics in our culture. So I just use them. And something else that I use is a hashtag. And the hashtag is really good because when I press on it, I can get all the posts of that person or all the posts in that topic. So that's why, you know, these are examples. Some of them are in English or in Arabic for the what you can do. Like, for example, if you are here, for example, the first one, this is one of my hashtags, is called مذكرات قبل بسمة. This is like the diaries of teacher Basma. Like, this is the closest thing I can think about in English. So here, just like, because I'm sort of like write stories about me and my students together, so that's why I made it like a diary. And the first ebook that I published was It was called Diaries of Teacher Basma, or مذكرات قبل بسمة. So this way, I was just like compiling the different stories that I have in my career in an organized way, story-like. So this way, other teachers, other novice teachers could actually, when they read them, they know that they are not alone in that world, and they also have an idea how to deal with the different challenges. Authenticity, this one we talked about. Like, if I asked you here, which one of these two ducks is the real duck? So you might, you don't have to think, because if you're gonna have to think, that would be quite a problem. So this one here, this looks like really cute, and I actually have these plastic ducks in my house. I really love them, but they are not real ducks. This is the real duck. So you don't find that it is as perfect as this one, and this is authenticity. I'm showing who I really am, with good and bad, with the flaws and everything. And I just try to like let people, when they come to my courses, yes, she's the troublemaker that we see on social media. She's too frank as she is on social media. So they don't feel like, well, she was really nice on social media, but when we met her in reality, she's really not cool at all. So that's what authenticity is like. This is a sample of my post, never mind, forget about it. And also consistency. And this is a major part of the game. So some people say, like, I really had this situation, and they tell me, okay, so I changed my profile picture and cover photo, and nothing happened. I'm not getting more followers, I'm not getting more likes, nobody is contacting me for work. And hello, you just did it for one day. Like, this is exactly what happens with some people, like when they go to take an English course, and then they come after one session or two sessions and they tell you, are you feeling that my English is getting better? It's just like one session that you had. It's not going to make that difference. So consistency here is like, as long as you're alive, as long as your heart is beating, you're got a brand for yourself. And this is not something new. It was happening like since the beginning of humanity in their different ways. The only difference now is that we're just taking it online. And when you think about it, it's great because you can get the chance to talk to people from outside your own culture. You can make an impact or help others in so far away places from you. So again, personal branding is not really about sharing your personal life. It's just about, some people share a part of their personal life, just like to help people connect with them more. But again, nothing that you have to do that you're not feeling comfortable with. It's just about sharing what's the things about your career. Like, some people, their account is only about their career. Like, when you look at it, you really don't know if they're married or not, have kids or not, or anything about them other than the career. And this is what they prefer. And okay, that's it. Perfect. Some people might be, involved in other pieces of information, and that's also okay. Some people could be more open. That's also okay. Again, you're not doing something that would be, you're not going against your own nature. Too much of just like and share for this post all the time without providing real content or real help it's not good. It's just for the ego. It's just like, if we are on social media just to get likes and shares, and this is something that I see every day, people get really depressed. We don't want to be the kind of person who's like, I just wake up in the morning for my fans on social media. No, I have my own life. I got my own family. I got my work, my students, and all of this. And just being on social media is just a means to an end. This is not the ultimate destination. Having a lot of likes and a lot of shares on one post is not gonna heal me when I'm sick, is not gonna provide for me when I am out of work. It's just like a marketing tool, but let's try, like when we find ourselves too attached to, like when you post something and then you stand in front of your phone and just wait for the kind of reactions you're gonna get. This is the moment you just have to switch off your phone and get along with your life and forget about that post that you just posted. Let it have the kind of reactions it's supposed to be having, because again, you don't want to hurt your own psychological well-being by being too attached with what happens on social media. Something else is the content curation or versus content creation. So some people, they don't really create content, or they don't put any effort at all. They just take the content of others and they just share it. And I don't know if this is something that you have in your culture or not, but in my culture, some people actually, they just get a lot of links and they just share it, and that's their whole profile. And it's not really interesting. Even if they get more fame, it's not really about fame. It's about leaving an impact. I know this could be like a dreamy idea. However, we're not here in the world just to share from others. You could be sharing something that you liked, and you can add your reflection to it. But just the idea of compiling websites and putting them online for others to check them. Usually, people don't check really these websites at all. They just see it, they save the post, they like it, and then that's it. So if our life is about just sharing some links, and some of them are even broken links, they are not working, this is a really bad idea to make your brand or your image based on it. And of course, since we are all teachers, so this is not a point even of discussion, because this is innately or naturally inside of you, because you're a teacher, you're helping others already. And usually on social media, when you help someone on social media, they just remember that, just like in real life. So they could be, on groups on social media, if someone is asking a question and then you decide if you got a free time to answer that question. So usually people could be relying, if you're doing this repetitively, or you're developing it as a way of volunteering, if you don't have time to volunteer more and this is your way of helping others, actually people could be interested in your account if you're providing good answers all the time. Something else that we could do is, if you know someone, like if you went to an event for educators, and then you saw like a person that you really admire, an influencer in your field, you can take a picture with that person, and or you can make cooperation with certain stakeholders. This could help you like a win-win situation. Like you could be connecting your the people on your accounts or following your accounts together, so you reach their audience and they reach your audience. And let's just be fair, if you go to someone and you got a new account, and absolutely nobody is following that account, and then you go to someone who's got like 300,000 people or something, and then you tell them, let's have a win-win relationship. Come on, like it's gonna be a little bit difficult for people to agree to that kind of cooperation. So always try to think like the other person. What am I gonna get in return? Again, it's all about sharing our story, about the challenges that we have overcome. Every teacher has got a story, and the point is that when we share our stories, the benefit that we get is we get an idea about how we can solve such a challenge if we got through it, or we can connect more. Like if I'm a teacher who has absolutely no resources inside my classroom, and then when I'm sharing that story, I find other people in a different place in the world and they have the same struggle, but they made a solution or they had a solution. So maybe they can contact me and we can communicate on how to solve this. And this really happened a lot. Like I got a lot of stories from people saying how it was even challenging to watch a video on YouTube. So that was really beautiful, and sharing your story could help you connect with people with more stories. So yeah, these are some of the posts I had. They're like usually in Arabic because this is how I connect with the people around me. We use Arabic, so that's the language I use on my social media, even if I'm teaching English. So if there is a trend jacking idea, like in certain every time on social media there is something that would go viral, and we can use it to relate this to our own field, to our own career. So we try to use it like these. Some of them were all trends happening in my country, so we were using it for fun. So you can do the same in the cultures that you have, or the culture that you are living in. Just like these are all samples of the posts that I had. You can check my profiles to know more about it. And something else that we need to avoid is racism, because social media, they just like the people on social media, they get angry very fast, and they have the guts to show that anger behind the screen more than in reality. So we just try to avoid saying anything that could be shown as racism to any group of people. Because again, it's not really nice to discriminate against a group of people. Like it's okay, like if you want to show your own belief, or I do this because I believe in that, but again, it's something related to you without hurting anybody else. We don't have to show something negative on our account or in real life, not just online. So something related to that is that we do not talk badly about others, whether it's a competitor, a client, a manager. Some worse could actually happen, or a brand attack could happen, or something like this. But again, according to the context, so we don't make this as a way of earning our living, is that every day I attack a competitor just to get famous. No, that's the very wrong thing. And one of the things that you could do also, like one of the tips, is to make a video CV. And you can check on my channel. There is an example for that, and you can find a lot of examples on YouTube. So you just write a video CV for English teachers, for example, and you might get a result, or for a science teacher, or for teachers. So this way people could actually see you while you're talking about your own experience. So we come to this question here: when should we start with our personal branding? So the answer to this question is simply yesterday. What are you doing here? Come on, switch off this video and just go and start with the first step, and make one change every day in your own accounts related to social media. Maybe today you change your name to make it professional. Tomorrow you change the cover photo, after that the profile, and so on. And every day you post and share a certain small piece of information about your field to educate your customer, to help your students. So we don't just like do online person branding. We can actually get involved more in our community. We can volunteer, we can go to events, workshops, and socialize, take pictures with people, and to try to give talks, whatever, any means of a way to help others. This is all the whole idea of personal branding is about. The personal branding is because you believe in something so much, you want to do it, and you cannot just keep it inside of you, because the people who keep it inside of them, they just want to explode because of the kind of energy that they have, and they cannot get it out. Some people who are 50 and 60 and 70 years old, but they are still full of passion, and they are driven by that passion. So when they don't get it out, they get really depressed and really sad. So whatever age group you're in, whatever culture you're coming from, if you got an idea that you really believe it's worthy of sharing, just go ahead and share it. And it's a long-term, continuous process, so you gotta be really patient. We're teachers, so it's gonna be like really a part of us. And also remember to choose certain words to make it like a consistent repetition in your hashtags, in your posts. Like for me, just like these are some of the Arabic words, like these are ducklings. I like to call my students little ducklings, so I use it all the time. An online course, this is my name, and this is teaching methodologies. This is the word English, and this is my favorite food, like shawarma. And certain repetition of certain words could actually help us get to know more people. So here we have a question. So could you build a character or persona in your mind for yourself? I want you to take a look at this question and start to write down notes and think about what kind of changes you can actually make right now. What is the first thing that you can actually change right now? And while you're watching that video, if you can, like if you're watching it on the platform where you can chat or something, you can just write it down in the comments of the platform, or while you're sitting and watching that video later on, you can just write down what is the first thing of your character that you would like to show on social media. So today we talked about how we can make emotional appeal or trust, how to become familiar, credible and similar to people, and how can we stress on the pain points through our posts, and how we can volunteer and get into the community through, you know, being generous and providing our free videos and posts, so this way we can connect with them more. So I hope if you've got any questions, you know where to find me. You can just write my name on Facebook, LinkedIn, or contact me through WhatsApp or by mail. These are my main accounts, and I'm really, really, really happy that I made that video for you. And I really hope that you could find any pieces of information in it that you could actually apply today, and that it could help you take one step forward in your career and helping the people around you and making the kind of impact and helping others in the way that you wish to do. So thank you so much, and I hope to meet you someday, maybe face to face. You'll never know. Bye bye.